When an avoidant man is deeply in love, the very first thing that betrays his feelings isn't his words, his gestures, or even his affection. It's his time's pace asterisk, his rhythm, his energy, his way of being in the moment. Avoidants don't slow down for anyone, not emotionally, not mentally, and definitely not physically. They rush intimacy because rushing keeps them safe. It keeps them detached. It keeps their heart out of the picture. But when he's falling for you, when the feelings are deeper than he understands, something shifts inside him that he can't control or hide. He slows down. Everything slows down. The way he touches you, the way he kisses you, the way he breathes near you, the way he lingers in moments he used to move past quickly. His pace changes because his emotions have changed, and his body reveals what his voice will never say out loud. There is a softness in him that wasn't there before. He's less mechanical, less guarded, less focused on the act, and more focused on times you asterisk. He begins to pay attention in a way he never did. He notices your reaction to his closeness. He notices the way your breath catches. He notices the way you hold him, the way you respond, the way you melt into the moment. And instead of pulling away like he usually would, he leans into it. He pays attention because he feels connected. He slows down because he wants to stay connected. His mind quiets, his guard lowers, his heart stirs, and his body behaves as if he is safe with you, even if his fear still tries to fight that truth when he's outside the moment. This shift in pace is not just physical, it's emotional. He becomes more intentional. He begins to explore you, not in a performance-driven way, but in a way that tries to understand you. He starts syncing his energy with yours, feeling you instead of just touching you, responding to you instead of just acting with you, and he doesn't even realize he's doing it. His heart takes the lead before his fear catches up. It's instinctual, it's unconscious, it's genuine. For an avoidant, slowing down is the ultimate confession, because slowing down means he feels safe enough to be present, and presence is the very thing avoidants run from when they don't care. When he's not in love, intimacy is something he rushes through. It's an experience he manages, not something he melts into. But when he's deeply attached, something else happens. He begins to cherish the moments instead of escaping them. He kisses you more intentionally. He lets his lips linger. He holds your face gently. His hands slow down, and the tenderness in his touch betrays the truth he's terrified of. He cares too much. He feels too deeply. And the connection is no longer physical, it has become emotional. There's also a moment when time feels different to him. He's no longer racing through the experience. He loses track of himself. He forgets to guard his heart. He forgets to suppress his emotions. For a brief moment, he lets himself feel everything he has been running from. He lets himself be close to you. He lets himself want you not just physically, but emotionally. And afterward, he will panic. He will retreat. He will act like nothing happened. But the moment he slowed down was real. The connection he felt was real. And the tenderness he showed was real. The most powerful part of this shift is that he can't control it. His body reveals the truth before his fear has the chance to shut it down. The pace he once used as protection now becomes the proof of his feelings. Because when an avoidant man is deeply in love, intimacy stops being an escape and becomes an experience. One he doesn't want to rush, one he doesn't want to end, one he slows down for because he wants to stay in it with times you asterisk. His pace becomes the love he doesn't know how to say. His slowness becomes the vulnerability he doesn't know how to express. And the way he stays present with you becomes the first, clearest sign that his heart has already chosen you, long before he ever admits it. When an avoidant man is deeply in love, the most revealing moment isn't during intimacy, it's times right after asterisk. This is the moment he can't script, control, or rehearse. His guard is down, his nervous system is soft, and the truth he has been hiding from himself slips through the cracks. Avoidants are masters of withdrawing. The second things feel too intimate, but when he cares about you deeply, something unexpected happens. He becomes protective, gentle, and quietly attentive in ways he doesn't even understand. This silent aftercare is the most vulnerable confession his heart will ever make, even if he never says a word out loud. Normally, an avoidant pulls away immediately. He turns his back, he gets dressed quickly, he creates space, he distracts himself. Not because he doesn't care, but because closeness makes him feel exposed, and exposure triggers his fear. He's not wired to stay present in tenderness, he's wired to hide from it. But when he loves you, his instincts change. Instead of withdrawing, he stays still for a moment. He watches you, he checks your face, he pays attention to your breathing. It might be subtle, a hand resting on your waist, a thumb brushing your skin, a quiet sigh that sounds like relief instead of tension, but for an avoidant, these tiny gestures scream love. He cares about your emotional comfort, even if he doesn't know how to express it in words. You'll notice him making sure you're okay, not because he thinks he should, but because something deep inside him needs times to. He might pull you closer for just a second before pulling away out of fear. He might rest his forehead against yours without thinking. He might run his hand down your back gently, slowly, like he's memorizing the moment. And even though he quickly snaps back into his guarded self afterward, the softness he shows is unfiltered, honest, and completely involuntary. What reveals the depth of his love isn't how long he stays, it's that he stays times at all asterisk. Avoidants don't linger unless something real has taken over their heart. They won't offer closeness unless they feel safe with you. They won't be gentle unless your presence makes them feel less alone in a world where they've built walls so high no one ever climbs them. When he loves you deeply, he lets you into that world for a moment. He lets you see the version of him he hides from everyone else, the tender one, the careful one, the protective one. This protectiveness shows up in ways he'll never acknowledge. He checks if you need water, he adjusts the blankets around you. He positions himself closer before realizing what he's doing and quickly retreats. He watches you sleep for a moment without meaning to. These are instincts, not decisions. His mind tries to stay detached, but his heart takes over. His fear tries to tell him to run, but something stronger tells him to stay. And that tension, that silent battle, is the proof that his love for you is deep, unmanageable, and far beyond what he's ready to admit. There's also a shift in the way he looks at you in those moments. His eyes soften, his expression relaxes. He looks at you like he's seeing someone he trusts, someone who touches a softness inside him he didn't know was still alive. It's a look that lasts only seconds, because fear pulls it away quickly. But those seconds mean everything. That look says what his voice will never say. That look is the truth he wrestles with. He is in love, deeply, painfully, undeniably. Afterward, he may act distant or quiet. He may pretend nothing happened. He may even avoid eye contact because vulnerability scares him more than anything. But don't mistake his fear for indifference. The aftercare he gave you, the softness he let slip, the protectiveness he couldn't hide, these are the pieces of his love spilling out of the cracks in his walls. The way he treats you in those silent, unguarded moments after intimacy is the most authentic version of him you will ever see. It is the proof that his heart is attached, even if his mind is terrified. It is the confession he will never speak. It is the truth he hopes you never stop feeling, even if he doesn't know how to keep showing it. His body always tells the story, his words never will. When an avoidant man is deeply in love, one of the most revealing changes happens in a place he never meant to expose his heart. His focus shifts from his own pleasure to yours. This is not something he plans. This is not something he does to impress you. This is not a technique or a performance. This is instinct, pure, uncontrollable instinct driven by emotions he doesn't know how to process. Avoidants don't normally connect deeply during intimacy. They keep things quick, simple, emotionally distant. They stay in control so they don't have to feel. Pleasure is physical, not emotional, but when he is in love, everything changes. His attention becomes careful, deliberate, and deeply personal. He becomes invested in your experience, your comfort, your satisfaction, your pleasure, because loving you makes him want to see you light up in ways he never cared about before. He starts watching you closely, not out of insecurity, but out of desire to understand you. Every reaction matters to him, every sound, every shift, every breath. He notices what makes you relax, what makes you melt, what makes you whisper his name, and he adjusts without thinking, without hesitation, without fear. His body responds to you as if your pleasure is part of his own experience. This is not normal behavior for an avoidant. They don't give control easily. They don't surrender their attention. They don't tune into someone else's needs unless something has cracked open inside them. The moment he becomes more gentle, more patient, more attentive, you've crossed into territory he never let anyone reach. His guardedness softens, his movements become intentional. He stops thinking about himself and focuses on the connection, the one thing that usually terrifies him. But with you, he wants it, craves it, needs it in ways he will never admit. And the reason is simple. Your pleasure makes him feel connected, valued, wanted, and safe. It reassures him that he's not failing you. It reassures him that he's enough. It reassures him that he matters to you in a way his fear usually blocks him from believing. He also becomes more curious. He asks without asking. He listens without words. He checks your face like he's reading a language he's finally starting to understand. He learns your rhythms and patterns. He remembers what you liked last time. He pays attention to details most avoidants never think about. Because when he loves you, intimacy becomes something deeper to him. A space where he can show affection without the pressure of speaking it. A space where he feels you without risking emotional rejection. A space where he can finally let his guard down without breaking apart. This is why his focus on your pleasure is so meaningful. It isn't just physical, it's emotional access. It's vulnerability disguised as desire. It's closeness disguised as touch. It's commitment disguised as curiosity. It's love disguised as instinct. And even when he panics afterward, even when he retreats, even when he pretends he didn't feel anything, his behavior in the moment tells a truth he can't hide. You matter more than the fear. He will also surprise himself. Avoidants don't usually prioritize their partner emotionally, but when he's in love, he can't help it. He wants to see you glow. He wants to hear your laughter. He wants to feel your body respond to his. There's a pride in him, not ego, but softness that blooms when he knows you're satisfied, comfortable and safe with him. It awakens something inside him he didn't know he could feel. Connection, belonging, tenderness. These emotions scare him more than anything, but they also pull him in deeper. And the more in love he is, the more his instinct to please you intensifies. His touch becomes a language, his attention becomes a confession, his effort becomes a truth he's too afraid to speak. Because an avoidant man can fake a lot of things: distance, disinterest, emotional coldness. But he cannot fake the way he shows up for someone he loves in the most vulnerable moments. If he is focused on your pleasure, if he is present for you, if he is giving instead of taking, that is love, pure and unfiltered, coming from a man who never meant to show it. When an avoidant man is deeply in love, his secrets don't come out through his words, they come out through the tiny things he pays attention to. In bed, where he can't hide behind logic or emotional distance, his instincts expose what he truly feels. And one of the biggest signs is how intensely he watches you. Not in a way that makes you uncomfortable, not in a way that is obvious, but in the quiet, subtle, involuntary moments when you're not even aware of it. Avoidants don't usually let themselves connect deeply. They keep their eyes away, their emotions locked, their focus guarded. But when he loves you, his eyes betray him, his attention betrays him. His small observations reveal everything he's trying to keep hidden. It begins with the way he watches your breathing. When he's not emotionally invested, he doesn't care about the rhythm of your breath or what it means. But when he's in love, something inside him needs to sync with you. He listens. He pays attention to when your breath gets faster, softer, deeper. He notices when you sigh. He notices when you relax. He notices when your body melts into the moment. And without saying a word, he responds to it, adjusting his pace, his touch, his energy. He's not thinking about impressing you. He's responding to you because he's emotionally tied to your experience. Then he starts noticing your reactions, even the smallest ones. A quiet sound, a slight shift of your body, the way your hands move, the way you hold on to him, the way your face changes for a split second. He's reading you, not out of insecurity but out of emotional connection. Avoidants never read people emotionally unless they care. They avoid that level of closeness because it makes them feel too exposed. But with you, he can't help it. Your reactions matter to him because times matter to him. Your comfort matters. Your pleasure matters. Your emotional state matters. And this awareness becomes a silent confession, one he can't even process himself. He also notices your comfort in ways that would surprise you. He pays attention to the tension in your body. If you're too stiff, he slows down. If you relax, he breathes differently. If you pull him closer, something inside him softens even if he tries to hide it. He notices if you're warm or cold, if you need repositioning, if you're nervous, if you're comfortable. These tiny adjustments he makes aren't conscious decisions. They're instinctual responses driven by love he hasn't admitted yet. Avoidants don't naturally tune into another person's needs. They usually stay in their own world, emotionally disconnected, unaware of what their partner feels. But when he's deeply attached, he can't help but pay attention. It's the kind of awareness that comes from genuine emotional investment, the kind he tries so hard to avoid in every other area of the relationship. The most powerful part of this is that he doesn't realize what he's revealing. He thinks he's being careful, silent, controlled, but his eyes soften when he looks at you, his body relaxes beside you, his hands become more gentle, his breaths align with yours, his reactions mirror your reactions, his movements become attuned to your needs instead of his own. That kind of attunement is emotional intimacy at its core, the very thing avoidants are terrified of, the very thing they run from, yet the very thing they slip into effortlessly when they're in love. And then there's the moment he doesn't expect, the moment he catches himself watching you with a tenderness that scares him, the moment he realizes he's paying attention to your comfort more than his fear, the moment he sees you in a way he didn't allow himself to before. This moment hits him quietly, deeply, unexpectedly. It's the moment he realizes he cares in a way he can't take back. These small observations, your breathing, your reactions, your comfort, are not small to him. They are his heart speaking before his fear can silence it. They are the unspoken truth he's been hiding from the world. Because a man who avoids emotional closeness does not watch someone this carefully unless he is deeply, uncontrollably, overwhelmingly in love. And he knows it, even if he'll never say it. When an avoidant man is deeply in love, the most confusing and contradictory behavior he shows is the panic that hits him times after times. He's been tender with you, followed by the fact that he still comes closer the next time. This pattern is not random, and it's not about you doing anything wrong. It's the emotional tug-of-war inside him, the internal war between his fear and his attachment, between his instinct to protect himself and his instinct to love you. And this inner conflict becomes most visible in moments of intimacy, because that's where he is the most unguarded, the most open, and the most vulnerable, even if only for a few seconds. Right after he shows affection, right after he slows down, right after he lets himself be gentle or emotionally present, something inside him immediately alarms him. His mind races, his heartbeat changes, his body tenses, because tenderness for him is not just tenderness, it is exposure, it is danger, it is emotional nakedness, and the moment he feels it, he panics. Not because he doesn't want you, not because he doesn't care, but because closeness activates the oldest wound inside him, the fear that love will hurt, overwhelm, or trap him. This is why he might suddenly pull away after a tender moment, why he may become quiet, why he may avoid eye contact, why he may shift the mood or distract himself. His panic is a defense mechanism. It's his mind trying to re-establish emotional distance so he can feel safe again. But here's the thing he doesn't understand about himself. You didn't make him feel unsafe. His feelings did. His own heart did. The connection did. And that scares him more than anything because he's losing control over the one thing he has spent his whole life trying to manage: emotional vulnerability. But here is where the truth reveals itself. Even after the panic, even after he withdraws, even after he pretends nothing happened, he still comes closer again the next time. He doesn't stay distant. He doesn't maintain emotional separation. He tries, but his heart pulls him back to you, every time. This is the clearest sign that his feelings for you are real, deep, and far beyond what he can handle logically. If you pay close attention, you'll see the pattern. He opens up for a moment. He shows softness. He lets down his guard. Then fear kicks in. He retreats, acts colder, resets the emotional boundary. But the next time you're close, he comes right back into your space. His hands soften again. His breathing syncs with yours again. His body moves toward you again. He lets intimacy happen again. Not because he's trying to manipulate you, not because he's hot and cold on purpose, but because his heart wants you, even when his fear tries to deny it. This cycle reveals how deeply he is attached. If he didn't care, He wouldn't panic, he would just feel nothing. If he didn't care, he wouldn't come close again, he would disconnect. If he didn't care, he wouldn't keep returning to vulnerability, he would avoid it completely. His panic is not rejection, it's evidence of emotional investment. His return is not confusion, it's desire. The combination of the two shows that he is deeply in love but deeply afraid. He may act casual afterward, he may pretend it meant nothing, he may create space to regain emotional control. But the truth is that the connection is growing inside him faster than his defenses can keep up with. He will think about the softness he showed, he'll replay it in his mind, he'll analyze whether he was too vulnerable, he'll worry you saw too much, and yet, the next time he's with you, he will instinctively choose closeness again. This push-pull behavior is not manipulation, it's the emotional reflex of someone whose heart is waking up faster than his fear can shut it down. He's terrified of how much he feels. He's terrified of how real it's becoming. He's terrified of losing control. But despite all that fear, his love for you keeps drawing him back. Because no matter how much he panics after he's tender with you, the truth is that closeness with you feels better than distance. And love, even his love, always chooses what feels right over what feels safe. The most vulnerable sign an avoidant man is deeply in love with you is the one he never intends to show, the one he can't control, the one that exposes him far more than any words ever could. He lets you stay close times after asterisk, after the intensity, after the high, after the moment, after everything in him should be shutting down emotionally. He lets you remain near him. For an avoidant, this is not small, this is not casual, this is not normal, this is a confession. A confession he will never speak, a truth he will never admit, but a truth his body cannot hide. He feels safe with you, safe enough to stay, safe enough to soften, safe enough to let your presence linger in a space where he usually shuts down instantly. Avoidants aren't wired for closeness after intimacy. Their default response is distance, emotional and physical. They turn away, they get distracted, they get up and move. They retreat back into themselves as fast as they can because vulnerability is too dangerous, too raw, too revealing. But with you, something in him hesitates, something in him pauses, something in him melts just enough to betray how deeply he feels. For a moment, he forgets his fear. For a moment, he lets his heart win. For a moment, he lets you stay in the warmth he created but doesn't know how to hold. This is the moment where his guard slips the most. His breathing changes, not out of exhaustion, but out of calm. His body relaxes, not out of habit, but out of trust. He lets your head rest on his shoulder or chest. He lets his hand stay on your waist. He lets your fingers intertwine with his. He lets the silence sit comfortably instead of treating it like something he needs to escape. And he doesn't realize he's doing any of this not until later, when the fear creeps back in and he tells himself he shouldn't have been that soft. But the softness already happened. And softness, with an avoidant, is love leaking through the cracks. Sometimes he will even hold you for a few seconds without realizing it. He will trace his fingers lightly on your skin. He will breathe you in. He will let himself feel the moment. These are not habits. These are emotional breakthroughs. Because in those still, unguarded seconds after intimacy, he feels something he rarely allows himself to feel. Connection. Real connection. The kind he can't fake. The kind he can't control. The kind he can't shut down fast enough. And even if the moment is brief, even if he pulls away quickly afterward, the fact that he allowed it at all is monumental. It means his heart trusts you, even if his mind is terrified of the implications. It means you reached a place inside him he thought was locked forever. It means he feels something that scares him, but not enough to push you away in that moment. It means he craves closeness with you in ways he can't process logically. Avoidants show their deepest love in the seconds when they think no one is watching. And after intimacy, when he lets you stay close, you are seeing him without armor. You are seeing him without fear dominating his every move. You are seeing the rawest, most unfiltered version of him, the man who wants love but is scared of losing control, the man who wants closeness but fears being hurt, the man who wants you but doesn't know how to handle the intensity of wanting. This moment also reveals something important. He doesn't want the connection to end. He won't say it. He won't admit it. He might even act distant the next day out of fear. But in that moment, his body tells the truth. It reaches for you, it stays near you, it relaxes into you. His fear can't override his instinct to keep you close. That instinct is deeper than attachment, deeper than desire, deeper than habit. It's love. Quiet, frightened, unspoken love, but love all the same. And that's why the moment after is the clearest sign of all. Because for an avoidant, staying close is not something he does casually. It's something he does only when he feels deeply, profoundly, quietly in love with you. Even if he never finds the words to say so,